Hi guys, and welcome to Let's Talk Automotive. And this week I've obviously not had enough of electric vehicles because these are two electric motorcycles, and this is Cheyne, and he's invited me to come on a test ride with what's these called, Brian?
These are the Energicas. That is called the Ego, and this one is called the Eva.
All right, Brian, take me through what we have in front of us. What do these compare to, first of all? Is it like a 125 or is it a 1000cc? What are we doing?
You're talking superbike category.
Okay.
In the MotoGP range at the moment, you've got MotoGP, you've got Moto2, Moto3, and then you've also got Moto E.
Okay.
And they race those motorcycles, and that is the road-going version of that motorcycle.
Really?
So it is not a commuter that you just go on the shops with, or that you do your like a delivery bike. This is
proper
superbike performance in
Insane.
a very good-looking Italian package.
That was my next question. Where and who makes these? So Energica is the company.
Energica is the company. They're based in Italy. They've been involved in electric motors and this type of technology for Formula One for a while. And then in 2009, they started a series where they wanted to do race bikes with the electric bikes. But this is where we are at the moment. You've got these bikes. There are 3 models coming to South Africa.
Okay.
You got the Ego, and then you got this one. And then there's also a more retro version of this that doesn't have this modern headlights. It's got a round headlight.
Okay.
But yeah, this is what we have at the moment.
Okay, so range.
The all-important question.
There's 2 things that's important for me: range and charging.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. These 2 models, unfortunately, are the homologation models.
All right.
They have a smaller battery than the production models.
All right.
Range on these things are really terrible. At the moment, I can do maybe 60 or 70 kilometers with it.
Okay.
And that means I can't even go to Harties for a nice breakfast run. My breakfast runs have got to be very short.
So basically to wimpy down the street.
That's it.
Okay.
And then when you get home, depending on your charge port, you can set the amps on the bike, and then on 15 amps it charges within 2 hours.
All right.
But the production version of these bikes, once they are homologated, will give you a range of about 180 kilometers.
Okay.
And then Energica have also published now on their website that a 15-minute charge from 0 to full is imminent.
Okay.
So
well, that makes a lot of sense.
That does.
Okay. What I'd like to do, Brian, is actually just ask you to take me through these bikes quickly. I want to talk about the brakes, I want to talk about the suspension, and I want to talk about the instrument cluster, because that looks like my cell phone. It doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before. Yeah. So if you don't mind, let's do that. Okay, Brian, I want to go through the bike as it is here in front of us. What I'm enjoying is that I'm seeing stuff that I recognize. It's not all new and different. I see brakes that I recognize, suspension. It looks like a normal bike. But obviously it's not.
It's not. It has got one massive battery. I mean, a quarter of the bike consists of battery.
All right.
Over here, you've got your drivetrain and your gearbox. It's only got 1 gear, and the gears, it's just as fast as the electric motor can spin up. I mean, that's 1 gear. It has got Öhlins suspension, and it's got Brembo discs at the front. And that's a big help, because this bike is, with that battery pack, fairly heavy. It's about 80 kilograms more than a normal sort of super bike.
Okay.
They come in at about 280. I think when you got on and you took the bike off the side stand, you felt
felt
the weight. And for that, I'm happy that they have proper Brembo discs.
Agreed. Okay, so come take us through this cell phone screen here in front of me.
Okay. On the dash, you have your current, you have your range, and you have your battery level.
Okay.
And then this dash can change. It has a lap counter. So if you do want to go to the racetrack, you have a lap counter. It's got another mode where it shows you your power output and where you throttled off, and there you can see how much we accelerated and stopped and accelerated and stopped, because that's the fun part of the bike. And there we have just information about what's your current usage, where it tells you how much power you're using. So while you're riding, you can see all that. And there's the main dash over there.
Okay, so normal speedo there. start time. We've got that's temperature, normal ambient temperature, and there's your range on the battery power that you've got.
Okay.
And that's the
that range actually. It works out basically on the way you are riding based on how much power you've got left.
Okay.
So if you are in urban riding where you start a lot, it regenerates power.
Okay.
And I've seen that range climb.
Okay.
As you power off, it regenerates and puts power back into the battery, so that you can get an extended range if you start.
Okay.
But
obviously that's not going to be the case when we on the open road.
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not. And then over here, you've got traction control, where you can set different levels of traction control. Level 1 and level 6 is the most intrusive. This bike also has Eco, Urban, Rain and Sport mode. So if you have range anxiety, then you can just put it on Eco mode and it'll behave itself.
Okay.
And then on the right-hand side, you'll see the regeneration of the battery. That gives you engine braking.
Yes.
On normal bikes, if you close the throttle, the engine brakes the bike. Whereas this thing, you close the throttle, there's nothing because the engine just spins.
Understand.
Whereas that will give you more regenerative power so that you have that feeling of the bike doing engine braking, and at the same time, it regenerates power to the battery.
Okay, Brian, you've explained a lot, you've talked a lot, but you're talking too much. I want to go for a ride.
Me too, boy.
Okay, let's gear up and go.
I'm in. So Fani, how was that?
Brian, my mind's actually blown. It's very similar experience to the Tesla. Quiet, that instant acceleration and power. I'm speechless.
It's just insane. I haven't seen anybody get off one of these bikes without a smile like yours on his face.
I just want to keep on going, and like you said when we got off, it's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And the engine regeneration function. Actually, when we stopped at the robot, I said to you, "Look at this! Now my range is almost 70."
Yeah.
And we started at 50 or something like that. So
no, the range does.
So it does help, but again, that's in town with a lot of start-stop riding.
But that's the fun part.
Yeah,
that is the type of riding that you want to do.
Okay, so I've got a question for you because we haven't spoken about this. Two things that comes to mind. Can I ride this bike with a normal license?
That is something that I still haven't found the answer to. I've actually spoken to Arnold Olivier from Amit.
Yes.
And he said he was going to come back to me because I think they have to bring in some new form of legislation. Because if you have a 125cc license, I mean, this doesn't have a cc. So that's still a bit of a grey area.
And also something that we didn't speak about, or we mentioned that it's only got one gear. So there's no clutch, there's no gear, it's just a throttle. Twist and go. I'm excited about what I'm seeing.
Yeah, me too. That's the one thing. I mean, if this is the future of where we're going, I can't wait.
Sure.
I really can't wait. This is a lot of fun.
Brian, I cannot thank you enough. Thank you very much for the invite. I had a absolutely brilliant day with you on these bikes. Thanks to the manufacturers, Energica. And obviously, if you guys want more information, they can go to the website.
There is a website, yeah. We'll put a link in the description or somewhere because I can't remember.
Awesome.
It's a funny thing. But we're not done yet. You're still going to take the bike home for me.
I'm glad to hear that. We'll catch you guys again on the next episode of Let's Talk Automotive. Cheers, guys.